Bienvenido al show que suena brutal, donde Xbox reina en un mundo digital. Gustavo en directo, siempre al control, con gameplays y trailers el ritmo es el gol. Un podcast que vibra en cada rincón, de píxeles y mundos, pura obsesión, la aventura comienza. ¡Pon atención! Exploramos lo nuevo, el futuro está aquí. Controles en mano, tú formas el fin. Debates profundos, un mundo sin fin. La pasión del gaming en un solo clip. Late el sonido, pulsa el compás. Entre beats eléctricos vamos a más. Gameplays que atrapan, tan especial. El universo Xbox lleva el compás. Es Gustavo en directo, acción, un podcast que vibra en cada rincón, de píxeles y mundos, pura obsesión. La aventura comienza. Pon atención. Pon atención. Pon atención. Pon atención. Pon atención. Pon atención. Exploramos lo nuevo, el futuro está aquí.
Disminuimos aquí. Buenos días o buenas tardes, gente, dependiendo de dónde se encuentren. Bienvenidos nuevamente a un micro podcast. Este va a ser un podcast muy corto y de hecho no va a ser un podcast como tal, no va a ser un debate. De hecho, no le he dicho a Natalia para que venga para acá hoy, porque primero porque tenemos podcast hoy en la tarde en su canal y evidentemente pues no quería sobresaturarla con tanto. Y en realidad, pues esto ha sido improvisado, se puede decir. Hoy es el día previo al lanzamiento del nuevo DLC de The Division 2 y van a hacer un reporte especial, eventos en los cuales suelen mostrar cositas de lo que se viene a continuación y tal en la nueva expansión. Y pues quizás veamos nuevas cinemáticas, un tráiler de lanzamiento oficial de la expansión que no se ha visto hasta ahora y pues quién sabe cuántas cositas más. Puede que nos muestren los cazadores, pueden que nos muestren quién sabe qué. Vamos a estar pendientes. Empieza en media hora aproximadamente. Programé el directo para media hora para no tener, perdón, tanto tiempo previo al evento. Que por cierto, me estoy dando cuenta que no me puse yo mis prendas. Antes que nada, bueno, saludar a quienes han escrito. Tony, SNK, lo jugaré mañana con unos amigos. Ya no me acuerdo nada del juego. A recordarse que el juego llega mañana a Game Pass, la versión base del juego. No sé si va a venir con la expansión de Nueva York. La verdad que lo dudo mucho, pero bueno, por lo menos la versión base, sobre todo con los cambios que han hecho, que ahora se puede acceder al nivel 40 sin tener la expansión, cosa que pues está bien, ya la gente no tiene que tener la expansión para llegar a nivel 40. Voy a quitar la cámara un momentico mientras me pongo las prendas. Ya nos vemos ahorita. Seguiré hablando por aquí porque aquí voy a estar. Pues es eso. Básicamente, lo que decía, como decía Tony, que lo va a jugar mañana, bueno, es eso. Mañana llega Game Pass, mañana va a incrementarse exponencialmente la cantidad de jugadores en el juego, evidentemente. Mañana va a ser, a partir de mañana, va a ser muy fácil encontrar partida porque evidentemente con tanta gente que va a entrar al juego, pues va a ser muy fácil encontrar partidas multijugadores, eso no tengo ninguna duda. Saludo además a Planet, muy buenas Gustavo, temazo, bueno, ya dije la semana pasada que ahí no me gustaba tanto, pero bueno, mientras tanto lo vamos a estar usando hasta que me cree otro nuevo. Y saludos a las Rock que está saludando por allí, saludos hermano, gracias por pasarte. Es eso, a ver, el canal de Twitch, que es donde van a transmitir este evento, hasta ahora no muestra nada, lo cual pues, bueno, ellos suelen poner un contador antes, unos minutos antes, así que bueno, estar pendientes de cuando, vamos a irlo compartiendo, por lo menos para tenerlo ahí compartido. Ellos suelen tener un contador, pero hasta ahora lo que se puede ver es el stream previo y no han puesto nada, así que estamos pendientes. Yo voy a tenerlo aquí en segundo plano para ponerlo. Saludos, Horacio. ¿Qué tal, hermano? ¿Cómo está todo? Estamos pendientes para jugar ahorita. Horacio es un conocido de hace muchos años, de la época de Gears of War, que le dábamos a Gears of War en 360 y bueno, ha quedado la amistad. Hemos jugado de Division unos cuantos años y él se dedica más a Destiny, pero siempre que tenemos la oportunidad jugamos. Benjamín, ¿qué hago tan temprano? Pues eso, un podcast, como dije, improvisado. No tenía pensado hacer podcast hoy en la mañana, pero dije, bueno, tiene van a lanzar este reporte especial, vamos a ver cosas nuevas de la expansión. Y pues ahí por eso dijimos que tal, después de tanto tiempo, nuevo contenido en The Division, sí. La verdad que han tardado, porque a pesar de que han metido nuevos modos de juego, han metido la segunda raid, han metido la incursión, pues como tal contenido de historia no habíamos tenido en mucho tiempo y pues ahora pues vamos a tener nuevo contenido. Han hablado de que no va a ser tan largo como el de Nueva York, va a ser un poquito más corto, un poquito más reducido, aunque por lo que se ha visto va a tener cosas nuevas y cosas interesantes. Vamos a ver qué tal. The Division no muere total, Planet. The Division no muere. Sí, es que sí que ha estado a punto de morir un par de veces. Eh, de hecho, los desarrolladores, en The Division hay un aspecto que ha marcado un punto de inflexión en cuando el estudio ha decidido, vamos a decir, no darle más soporte al juego. En el caso de Division 1 fue la introducción de la mesa de optimización. Esa mesa, cuando meten esa mesa de optimización, se supone que desde ahí en adelante ya no iban a darle más contenido al juego. Y cuando eso pasó en el 2, se dio por hecho que no iba a tener también más apoyo y más contenido. El problema es que, bueno, el estudio se encuentra con esa tesitura de que tienen que desarrollar Avatar, tienen que desarrollar el Star Wars Outlast y dijeron, bueno, ¿qué vamos a hacer con The Division? Lo mantenemos vivo durante un poco de años metiéndole contenido a manera de temporadas como lo han ido en hecho y no les ha salido tan mal, creo yo. Y además, pues que ahora que ya han terminado esos dos videojuegos de los que hablé anteriormente y que se supone que están trabajando en The Division 3, pues bueno, pasa esto, de repente 5 años después de la expansión de Nueva York lanzan una nueva expansión, lo cual, a ver, a mí como, como fan de la franquicia, pues no puedo hacer otra cosa que alegrarme. ¿Cuántos años tiene ya? The Division 2, si no estoy mal, se lanzó en el 2018, por tanto estaremos hablando ya de 7 años, estamos en el año 7 del juego, por tanto, pues un juego ya bastante longevo y que Dios quiera, sepamos pronto algo de Division 3, no sé la verdad si lo sabremos qué tan pronto o qué tan lejos, no lo sé la verdad, porque es que no hay ninguna pista al respecto, pero se supone que están trabajando en ello. Han contratado incluso o han recontratado al que fue el director del primer juego, que es Julian Gerty, que ahora está trabajando nuevamente o va a ser el director de Division 3. Se supone que son buenas noticias, se supone que hay interés en la franquicia. Lo único que he hecho un poco para atrás, para que esto se movió un poco, bueno, pero no hay nada nuevo. Se supone, bueno, que con este director son buenas noticias para la franquicia. Son, se supone que están trabajando en ello, pero hasta ahora todo es un secretismo, no hay información al respecto. Camaro, buenas, ¿qué tal? Felicidades por el nuevo contenido. Claro, lo voy a disfrutar. Mañana lo estaré jugando en directo a partir de las 8 de la mañana, más o menos. Voy a pegar toda la mañana a jugarlo en directo y, pues, por supuesto que lo haremos aquí en YouTube. Sin duda, lo estaremos jugando desde muy temprano en la mañana. Te quería preguntar, ahora que sale Division 2 en Game Pass, ¿es crossplay PC, Windows y consola? No tengo idea, sin puertas. Yo solo te puedo decir que no tiene Play Anywhere. Eso es seguro porque ya yo traté de descargar la versión de Windows PC que ya está disponible y no me deja porque tengo que comprarlo, me pide comprarlo otra vez. Así que no es Play Anywhere, de eso estoy seguro. Ahora, mañana que esté en Game Pass, lo voy a instalar en el PC y voy a ver si tiene crossplay o no. Si no tiene crossplay, lo desinstalo y no ha pasado nada. Lo sigo dando en Xbox porque, bueno, yo lo tengo además en Ubisoft Connect. Así que no tengo idea a día de hoy si el juego va a tener crossplay, aunque sea entre la versión de Windows y la de Xbox. Si es así, pues a mí me hacen el día, porque empiezo a jugarlo en PC y dejo de jugarlo en Xbox ahí mismo. O sea, con todas las ventajas que te brinda jugarlo en PC, es de loco. Solamente por el hecho de poder jugarlo en monitor panorámico, ya con eso a mí me ganan. Ya se verá. La preorden es a medianoche. Randall, no se sabe, hermano. No se sabe nada de la preorden. No está disponible a día de hoy. Todavía no se puede preordenar ni predescargar ni nada. Yo me imagino que eso lo van a anunciar hoy en este reporte especial que vamos a transmitir. Vamos a ver. Vamos a darle un F5 aquí a ver si esto, porque ya Ok, ya por lo menos tenemos algo distinto. Ya se ve hay un contador, como pueden ver ahí, 12 minutos para empezar, de manera tal que van a empezar en punto. The Division Crossroads, wow, eso es nuevo. Eso de Crossroads es nuevo. Vamos a ver qué tal. Entiendo lo que dices, a las Rock no es crossplay y ellos han dicho que se complica y tal, pero una cosa es crossplay y otra cosa es cross save. Es cierto que, y no le paré tanto, cuando Sir Puerta me preguntó si era crossplay, evidentemente no va a tener crossplay en ninguna versión, o sea, no vas a poder jugar con versiones entre PC y consola, por lo menos la de Windows, pero lo que hay que esperar es a ver si con la de Windows se va a poder. Es porque la de Windows, la versión de Windows la lanzaron hace 2 semanas, que anunciaron como 12, la llegada de 12 en una noticia que pasó muy por debajo de la mesa, por cierto, pero anunciaron que llegaban 12 juegos de Ubisoft a Windows PC que no estaban previamente y que pues a día de hoy por lo menos no se sabe. Yo sé que crossplay con PlayStation o con versión de Ubisoft o de Steam no va a haber, ellos eso sí que ya lo han dicho una y otra vez, pero ahora si va a tener cross save es lo que yo quiero ver. Es decir, yo voy a poder continuar mi partida de Xbox en Windows PC. Eso es lo que yo quiero ver. Eh, no sé si va a haber crossplay entre las dos versiones, pero por lo menos habría que ver si entonces, aunque sea cross save, la esperanza es lo último que se pierde, pero bueno, habría que ver. Vamos a bajar esto un momentico, ya se sabe que está un contador, va por 11 minutos, lo pondré ya cuando esté más cerca. PC Windows es la que sale en Game Pass, pero es que eso es lo curioso, que el juego llega a Game Pass tanto en su versión de consola como en su versión de Windows. Eh, el juego como tal no tiene Play Anywhere. Eso a mí prácticamente me dice que no va a tener cross save tampoco. Prácticamente me lo dice, pero vamos a esperar. Mañana apenas está disponible en Game Pass, yo lo voy a descargar en PC a ver qué me sale. Si me dice que tengo que empezar una nueva campaña no, lo dejo así, lo desinstalo y chao. No ha pasado nada. Porque evidentemente no voy a jugar por cuarta vez de Division. Ya lo he jugado en Xbox, lo he jugado en PC en la versión de Ubisoft Connect y me he jugado la versión de PlayStation 5. O sea, ya no lo voy a jugar más. Saludos Santoro, por cierto. Un saludo desde Los Ángeles, California. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cuándo crees que aparecerá GTA 6 Xbox Series X? A ver, eso es algo de lo que podemos hablar rápidamente. Quedan 10 minutos. Hoy es 26 de mayo del 2025. Estamos exactamente a 365 días del lanzamiento o del supuesto lanzamiento de GTA 6. Curioso que lo hayan atrasado hace unos días para dentro de un año y ese año es precisamente, o sea, ese dentro de un año es exactamente a partir de hoy. Hoy empieza la cuenta regresiva, un año tendremos que esperar. Es cierto que se puede añadir a la lista de deseados en PlayStation 5, pero aún en Xbox Series X no, o Series X, Series S no. Hay que esperar cuando esto va a ser posible. Yo creo que tendrá algo que ver con la Store de Microsoft, que a lo mejor no deja poner juegos en lista de deseo con tanta antelación. La verdad no lo sé. Ya veremos cómo se da esa situación. Tenemos que el contador va por 9:17. Vamos a darle un F5 aquí porque me salió un mensaje antes. Tal, ok. Ahí lo tenemos. Pues es eso. Con respecto al DLC, bueno, vamos a ver qué, o sea, tiene buena pinta, tiene pinta de que va a ser, bueno, ya han dicho de hecho que son 3 misiones principales. No parece que vaya a haber una misión final así como la del DLC de Nueva York, del primer DLC de Nueva York, porque este es un segundo DLC en Nueva York, pero solo que es en Brooklyn en vez de Manhattan. Y que pues no parece que vaya a haber una misión especial como la final contra Aaron Kinner, pero vamos a ver. Han hablado de puestos de control, han hablado de otro tipo de misión que no hemos visto en el juego hasta ahora, en algo que no recuerdo si lo han llamado misión de objetivos o misión de algo. Eso lo vamos a aclarar hoy, pero que no están, o por lo menos no es un tipo de misión que esté a día de hoy en el juego como tal. Porque sí es cierto que hay unas misioncitas menores en el juego, son las misiones estas clasificadas o confidenciales, como se llamen, pero son misiones medio chorritas ahí que están como para hacer bulto. Esto parece ser un poco más elaborado, quisiera creer yo. Así que veremos qué tal. Así va el contador, 8 minutos para empezar. Vamos a ver. Pues no quisiera hablar de otros temas hoy que no fuese de Division. Ya, bueno, abordé un poquito lo del GTA 6 por encima. Acordarse que tenemos podcast en la tarde con Natalia a mis 4 de la tarde, que viene siendo 11 de la noche, si no estoy mal, en Europa. Estaremos con Natalia, pues evidentemente en su podcast de hoy, en el antro, y hablaremos en profundidad de las cosas que se han dado a partir del, más o menos el fin de semana para acá. Hay noticias nuevas, hay por ahí un rumor de lanzamiento de Hellblade 2 en físico, de una manera un poco de aquella manera, pero bueno, ya veremos. Y me imagino que Natalia pues armará un podcast con muchas más noticias o abarcando un poco también cosas de las que ya hemos hablado, que obviamente se hablarán en su podcast hoy por primera vez. Así que bueno, esto de tener una música de fondo, que no la voy a poner ahorita porque, para ver, el audio aquí. O sea, Twitch me detecta que tengo un bloqueador de publicidad y que me considera unirme al turbo de ellos, pero el turbo de Twitch es caro, cuesta como $15 mensuales solo por no tener publicidad en ningún stream. No sé, me parece algo caro. Vamos a ver. No sé, alguna noticia así nueva, no. Bueno, esto vamos a hablar de esto un momentico rápidamente. Vamos a quitar esto y vamos a compartir esto, porque es básicamente todo lo que se viene en Game Pass en estos días. Esto me imagino que lo vamos a profundizar ahora, pero el 29 de mayo, Metaphor Refantasio. 10 de junio, el Warhammer 40.000 Space Marine Mastercraft Edition, que es básicamente el primer juego remasterizado. Eso creo que no lo hablamos en mi podcast del miércoles porque todavía no había salido, no lo habían anunciado, de manera que eso lo hablaremos hoy por primera vez en el podcast de Natalia. Vamos a tener en el 13 de junio The Alters, juego que a mí me genera mucha intriga, lo veo interesante, vamos a ver qué pasa con ese videojuego. Vamos a tener después el FBC Firebreak, que es el de la gente de Remedy, este juego multijugador cooperativo de 3 personas que ha hecho la gente de Remedy, que tiene buena pinta. Después tenemos el Lost in Random de Eternal Dice. Ya sabemos que Lost in Random viene de una secuela o es la secuela de un videojuego que fue publicado por Electronic Arts y que ahora llega a Game Pass su secuela. Y pues tenemos el rematch, que es el FIFA de la gente de Sifu, o sea, el fútbol de la gente de Sifu. Vamos a ver qué tal sale ese, pero en líneas generales, un muy buen mes de Game Pass con todo esto que se viene y que tela con todo lo que se viene para este mes en Game Pass. Vamos a dejar de compartir. No, pero si dejo de compartir esto. Uy, es que me salen las dos. ¿Ahora cuál? Ah, ok. Esta es la que dejo de compartir. Y vuelvo a compartir esta. Dice, el único motivo por el que no juego de Division es por la falta de crossplay. Es una limitante muy importante del juego. Pero esta gente no lo va, a estas alturas no lo van a poner. Así de sencillo. ¿Qué onda con eso que Hellblade 2 no salía en la publicación de X? No sé a qué te refieres. De que Hellblade no salía en la publicación de X, pero no sé a qué publicación te refieres, Benjamín. Necesito un poco más de contexto ahí. Publicación de X. ¿Qué publicación? ¿De quién? ¿Qué se publicó? O sea, yo de Hellblade lo que sé es que aparentemente está filtrado hoy que va a ser lanzado en formato físico para Play 5 y Xbox. A través de Limited Run Games, es lo único que se ha sabido. En la publicación de la tanda de Game Pass, no, pero a ver, el Blade 2 es un juego que ya tiene tiempo en Game Pass. Yo no sé si, yo me imagino que te refieres que lo han anexado o lo van a anexar al estándar, pero que en una publicación no estaba y en otra sí. A ver, podemos buscar rápidamente la cuenta de Xbox, que son los que suelen hacer estas publicaciones. En estos 3 minutos que quedan, no, en realidad debemos buscar es la cuenta de Game Pass. Ellos tienen su propia cuenta. Xbox Game Pass. Y ver si tienen publicada la imagen de todos los que van a llegar. Ah, pues sí, es verdad lo que tú dices, Benjamín. Yo creo que pensaría que es que no va a llegar o que ya está, una de dos, porque como es un juego que ya tiene más de un año, pensaría yo que ya está. A lo mejor se equivocaron y lo metieron en la publicación del estándar. Como no tengo Game Pass estándar, pero yo me imagino que a lo que te refieres es a esto, ¿no? Que ya la propia el propio canal de la propia cuenta de X de la gente de Game Pass tiene esta imagen. Y ya no aparece Hellblade 2 para el estándar, que era donde se iba a poner. Es lo que te digo, no sabría decirte si es que ya está en Game Pass estándar y a lo mejor fue que se equivocaron, no sabría, o es que se equivocaron de fecha y es que no va a llegar todavía. No sé, habría que ver. Pero sí, ya entendí a qué te referías. Esto está en 1 minuto 20, ya va a empezar la transmisión. Vamos a ver con qué nos salen hoy esta gente. Espero que muestren cositas nuevas, aunque sea, y que digan... Esto se le puede poner subtítulos, para ver. Voy a dejarlo así. Esto no se le puede poner subtítulos por lo que vea, porque esta gente no... Por lo que veo, no. Vamos a dejarlo así. Así que bueno. Vamos a esperar estos 40 segundos. Versión Next Gen, guarda este comentario. ¿Versión Next Gen de qué? De Hellblade 2, ¿te refieres? Yo vi que alguna gente subía fotos con él y luego me salta la publi de la cuenta y no estaba. Es que la imagen que yo puse, inclusive en el directo con Natalia del miércoles, salía Hellblade 2, pero aparentemente ya no está. Y estoy viendo publicaciones más atrás de la propia cuenta de Game Pass. Ahí lo podemos desarrollar un poco más adelante, porque ya va a empezar esto, y ya no aparece, no está por ningún lado. Así que bueno.
Hello.
Chica
are
nueva, esta chica no la había visto yo.
Are we? I hope we are.
We are.
Okay.
We have a double launch coming tomorrow. So this is our rather special stream, no?
Yeah, yes, we do. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
good.
just unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. So it's a very special stream. We have the DLC Battle for Brooklyn, and we have a new season, Crossroads.
Ah, es que la nueva temporada se va a llamar
My name is
Crossroads,
Anna.
ok.
I'm new here, so I should probably introduce myself. You have met my colleague Leo, who's also pretty new to the team. So yeah, we're super happy to be on this project. It's a project with a lot of legacy.
You came just at the right time.
Yeah. You didn't fire Leo last time?
No, so for people, I was joking about that just before we went live, but last week we did a stream and I joked that Leo was fired. If Anais is here today, it's not because Leo is fired.
No, we're actually two community
Congrats,
members.
we have two com devs. Yay.
Amazing. So let's take a look at the agenda for the stream today. So we will begin with the
Vamos a
Battle
dar
for
un
Brooklyn.
tráiler, vamos a hablar de
We
la
will have a
historia, vamos a hablar
premiere
de
for the trailer,
piezas de
quite a bit
equipo y
about the
habilidades.
story, the gear and skills,
O sea,
and announce a little contest. Then we will move on to the seasonal content, so Crossroads with story, seasonal
Después la
journey,
temporada,
exotics,
con la historia de
some
Crossroads,
gear, the season
las
pass, cool
jornadas
events,
estas, los diarios que
updates,
estamos
some
haciendo,
cool
los
events
episodios que va a haber.
happening, and we will end
Me parece
with
que va a
the
haber
Directo.
gear, o sea, piezas de equipo que van a ser propias
So,
del
I think we
DLC
can
y lo
preface
que
all
van a
that, sorry,
añadir
by
normalmente al juego.
saying that if you've been following
Well,
everything, this is probably going to be a big recap of everything there is to know about what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah. So Yannick will just again.
I'll just go in auto mode and just repeat the same things. But we'll see. Maybe I'll add a different flavor this time.
Yeah, maybe. So let's start with the Battle for Brooklyn, the DLC. So before we get into it,
Cambia.
we are going to watch
Algo más
the
acá.
trailer. Enjoy.
Uy, no. Sí. Bueno, este es el tráiler. Tráiler oficial de
Brooklyn.
la nueva expansión.
We've built something here. The bridge. Security. Community. Something worth protecting. But anything worth protecting is worth taking.
You know why we came here! Find it! Explore everything else! Repeat, the division's here! They're in the...
Para nada. No te avisé para esto porque fue improvisado primero y porque segundo nos vamos a ver en la tarde otra vez. Así que ya voy a estar picando.
To save Brooklyn, the fight starts here.
Igual si te quieres unir ya tú sabes que puedes entrar directamente. No tienes clic ni
Security.
nada, ¿eh?
Community. Something worth protecting. Brooklyn is our home. Without you, it'll burn.
Nice. So we're back in Brooklyn.
Fire and explosions.
So do you want to summarize the story? What are we getting into?
So at the end of the DLC, no, I shouldn't start with that. Okay. So no, the story is we're going back to Brooklyn. So everything is centered around especially one place in Brooklyn, and that is the bridge settlement. This settlement was established a while ago. And while all the events happened that we know in DC, in Manhattan,
asentamiento en el puente, por lo que se
all of
puede
these
ver.
things were taking place. This settlement was established in Brooklyn and was left pretty much untouched and left alone. There was not much at stake in Brooklyn. It's not a really strategic position or anything. So they were able to thrive. And so we have a pretty independent, isolated community that exists there. But all of this changes when the cleaners come. The cleaners cross the river, come to Long Island. We've seen already some of them in the incursion. But now they are actually coming with overwhelming force into Brooklyn, really intent on taking it over and burning it to the ground. So this is your duty now as an agent to go there and to answer the call to make sure that you're saving the civilians. As you do that, you're going to meet a bunch of people. Some of them you know, some of them you don't, and try to save them, but also try to understand a bit what is going on here. Why are the cleaners coming here? What are they after? Why are they coming with so much force and so many of them basically, and who is leading them? So there's a bunch of small mysteries to uncover there, but ultimately, and first and foremost, you're here to save people, to save the settlement.
So as you mentioned, we're back in Brooklyn. This was the starting point in the first division.
Yes.
How did you work with the nostalgic elements?
Well, I think Brooklyn is a great opportunity for us, and that's really the one thing that clicked when we started talking about making a DLC, making a new piece of world, and where would we go. Brooklyn made so much sense because it's this
Hablando pura paja, lo
of,
que representa Brooklyn
past
para ellos, de
and the
cómo
future,
tocó el juego y
for
tal.
us, because as you said, the Brooklyn is where everything began. If you played Division 1, this is where your adventure started. This is where you created your character. These were the first streets that you went through. This is where you met Feilau. So there's a lot of history there. Even the very first trailer, the reveal trailer of the Division in 2013 was also in Brooklyn. But on the other hand, it's also an opportunity for us to show how the world has changed, how the world of the Division has changed and it has evolved. So it's really the convergence of those two things. And we really wanted to make sure by building Brooklyn that we would take the time to put as many references as possible to the original Brooklyn that you may know from Division 1. We wanted to make sure that you can recognize those spaces, that you can find some of those anecdotes and some of those Easter eggs. that are referring to events that happened. But once again, always making sure that we add a layer of transformation on things, because I mean, obviously, many months in our story, many months happened between the events of Division 1 and the events of Battle for Brooklyn. So we wanted to make sure that this also transpires as you play the DLC. You're going to find familiarity and similarities, but also a world that has completely transformed.
Hablan de que han pasado muchos meses entre lo que pasó en Nueva York, en Brooklyn, y lo que va a pasar ahora, o sea, en el primer juego y lo que va a pasar ahora. Y que pues evidentemente todo va a ser distinto, todo cambiado, y no solamente la temporada.
Yeah, so we have two name zones in the DLC, as you know. One is Dumbo and the other one is Brooklyn Heights. And Dumbo is actually the one that contains the Division 1 streets as well, but not just. It's bigger than that. This is also where you're going to be starting your fight against the cleaners. So you will see more cleaners activity and more cleaners destruction in that name zone, because this is where the attack comes from. But we really wanted to make sure that when we worked on those name zones, we give each one of them as much identity as we can. So they really have kind of a different setting, a different story, a different purpose, even in the way they're being used by the civilians of the bridge settlement. They serve different purposes. And we're also, even though our map is smaller, what we wanted to do is make sure we have density. So as you run in the streets, you will see a lot of course, your usual activities that you can expect from the open world, but also a lot of opportunities for exploration, for discovery, and even some verticality with some rooftops that are available and things like that. So we really wanted to make sure that every space in this map is utilized, and then there is opportunities for surprises everywhere.
Hablan de que van a aprovechar mucho más el mapa ahora y que, va a haber mucha más destrucción en esta Brooklyn que la que vimos en el juego pasado. Recordar que en Division 1 los cleaners no estaban en Brooklyn, estaban en Manhattan, y ahora van a llegar a Brooklyn.
So that's the one I talked about. This is where the civilian community lives and has thrived. One thing that is a bit different tonally is that we wanted to show a community that has, as I said at the beginning, that has been left alone, that has been able to rebuild a bit more, to actually really take control of the space. So you will find when you arrive a settlement that is already well established, that is well defended, that is guarded. As you venture the streets around the settlement, you will also see that the civilians have done a pretty good job at cleaning up the streets, at removing some of all the clutter and some of the dangers that you would usually have. But of course, as you go further and further in the streets and further away from the settlement, things start to change. And similarly to the Division 2 campaign, this settlement will evolve as you progress. So the settlement itself will have upgrades. You see that and there's also smaller upgrades within the settlement that are tied to your progression. So you're going to see this space develop and thrive even more as you play the story.
That's really cool.
Y que esa evolución la vas a sentir más que en los asentamientos del Division regular.
Yes.
El mapa.
So how much of this would you say would be Brooklyn?
Entonces, como pueden ver, hay misiones principales y misiones de mundo. Esas misiones de mundo que son 4 es lo nuevo. Eso no
where the
está ahora en el
tutorial
juego.
of Division 1 took place, so we have a bigger map here. But as I said, again, it's a map that is dense, that has a lot. And as you can see, we have 4 world missions that are directly on the map and 3 main missions that are outside the map. And some of the reason behind that is we wanted to offer a good mix of seamless continuity and being able to jump into a mission from the streets of Brooklyn directly. So, you get the mission from the NPCs, you go to the mission, you can run to the mission and have all the things that happen in the open world that come in your way as well. So there's opportunities for distraction and exploration. But making the main missions off-site and separate also gives us an opportunity to have missions that are that also have a very strong thematic, that have maybe a different tone or a different angle. So that was one opportunity for us to make those missions, the main missions off-site, is really to also be able to have something that can disconnect a bit and kind of breaks the routine of what you're going to get used to as you venture the streets. So we have that mix of both. And once again, we've said that already, but as a reminder, the world missions and the difference also in world missions and main missions is main missions, you know that it's the same. You should expect the same as main missions in the Division 2. World missions, it's a new thing. It's about the size of a side mission. It's a bit bigger than a side mission, I would say, but just slightly bigger. But the big difference is that they are replayable. They are fully replayable, and you can also change the difficulty settings on them. So they will adapt to the difficulty setting or to your global difficulty in the world, and you can replay them as much as you want. So even once you finish the campaign, you will be able to replay them, and that becomes a very quick bite-size content that you can replay for very short sessions. So also an actual faster way to rewards.
No entendí muy bien esto de las
So,
misiones de mundo.
The cleaners
Más o menos lo que
will
él
be a
dice
big
es que van a ser misiones
threat
más grandes que
and
una misión
they
secundaria
are
y que van a
built
tener
with
mucha
purple flame.
rejugabilidad.
So the purple flame
Pero
might
todo el juego
already be
tiene
familiar
rejugabilidad.
to
No
some of
entiendo
you.
mucho la
It
diferencia.
showed up during
Vamos a ver
Paradise
después.
Lost Incursion.
O lo veremos,
But
lo
in
descubriremos
that
mañana
version, it's
posiblemente en el
even more
gameplay.
dangerous because it doesn't just burn. It takes damage. You'll take damage up front, but then it keeps eating away at your armor even after the flames die down. So this lingering effect is called corrosion.
A ver, mira,
and
la
it can
corrupción
hit
se ve ahí
hard
mejor.
if
Esa
you're not
barra morada
ready.
que sale
So
va a ser
how
la
do
corrupción.
you
Va a
how do you
funcionar
work with
igual
this? How
por
do you
lo visto
approach
que
this?
la,
Do you have any tips to the players?
que la directiva hay que es más ladilla que
Well, kill them before they kill you.
Yeah.
But no, it's we wanted even though we're reusing existing factions, we wanted to give the cleaners especially a different taste. And the idea to build on the purple flame that was introduced with the incursion was very interesting because in the incursion the purple flame you see is it's basically a stronger fire, and we wanted something that had a bit of a different taste. So the idea of the corrosion came in, and what's interesting with the corrosion is that it encourages quick encounters, which kind of plays into a more tactical approach of like looking at the NPCs. I realize I said tactical approach and you see just fire everywhere and explosions, but I guarantee there's tactical gameplay here. But it's really about trying to make sure that you get rid of the threats as fast as you can, because the longer the combat is going to last, the more and more your armor is going to be eaten by corrosion, and what that means is basically you can no longer replenish beyond whatever is the corrosion level. So the more corrosion, the less max armor you have. And that takes a while to replenish. It's not just, combat is over and then it's back. No, it takes some time to come back. So even if you actually rush combat after combat, those effects
Ahora, ¿cómo vas a revertir el proceso de corrosión? Es lo que no tengo claro.
So it's really about
un kit de armadura y no le hace nada.
The speed of the encounter and trying to make sure that you don't drag the combat for too long.
And there's something else that can help if we move on. Smooth transition.
Yeah.
To the
that beautiful face.
That's a beautiful face. So we have the catalyst. It's a new mask that that can help counter the cleaner's attack.
Yeah. Yes. So this is a new exotic. This is the new exotic that is exclusive to the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. And that mask is very much, centered on the status effect gameplay. So the idea here is that this is actually when you're in a status effect or when you're under status effect, you will get bonuses. It's also kind of protecting you in a way from fire, or it's diminishing the effect of fire that on you. So it's really meant to be used against cleaners, but it can be used against everything. It's also going to reward when you use status effects. So it's really about fighting fire with fire in a way.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of fire, you can even see the effect on it. And once again, our
es horrible. Yo no sé la gente que diseña
because as you can see, it has this kind of fire element on it, and these light up depending on the speed of your character. So the faster you run, the more light, or the more it's going to burn.
And we actually seen a lot in the community, people asking for more hazard protection. So we see you. I see you.
There's it's going to be interesting to see. And just to answer, I'm sure, the question that will come on how do you get it. You get that one by playing the DLC. It's not a guaranteed chance, so you will have to be lucky and get it. But of course, as
No es un drop garantizado.
as you increase in difficulty, you increase your chances to get it. As
A medida que aumenta la dificultad del DLC, vas a tener más chance de adquirirlo, ¿no? Me imagino que es al finalizar
We have another
no entendí muy bien ahí.
the smart cover.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
La nueva habilidad de la
Going
cobertura
back, so it's
inteligente,
a remake
la hablamos
of the
un poco
beloved version for the first
en el stream
game.
anterior que hubo.
So a very versatile skill that can be used both in PvE and PvP. And when activated, players will deploy a projectile that sticks to surfaces, so either the ground or the wall. And this will create a radius. And inside this area, all agents with cover become reinforced. So, how do you...
¿Te parecen tres locaciones?
You
That's
covered
it.
it all. No, so yeah, I mean, we once again, this is going back to Brooklyn and kind of scratching a bit at the memory of Division 1. The idea of making a new skill for the DLC was pretty obvious. We wanted to once you've consumed the story of the DLC, we wanted to make sure we leave you with also kind of a gameplay memory. Or a gameplay element that then is available in the rest of the game. So the skill made a lot of sense. And of all the Division 1 skills, well, some of them, a bunch of them made it to Division 2, and some of them didn't. But the idea of bringing back smart cover was very interesting because I think that's a skill that adds a lot of interesting dynamic for group play. And I talked about the tactical approach with the cleaners, and I think smart cover also encourages tactical play to really like make sure you flag specific covers and you help the rest of your team, and it's also having
Es una habilidad que veo medio tonta, pero bueno, ellos dicen que para potenciar el juego en equipo y tal.
Defensive.
It's
just I'm excited to see it come back. I was here in the old days of smart cover and
Tener un buen healer en el equipo no necesitas esto. Un buen
see
healer.
how relevant that one becomes to
nivel de
other
dificultad.
type of contents in the rest of the game. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. And this one you get also through just through progression. So this one is not a drop chance. This one is guaranteed. At a certain point, as you progress through the DLC and the campaign, you will unlock it.
Okay, el drop de la habilidad está garantizado a nivel de cierto, cuando llegas a cierto punto de la historia del DLC.
Well, it will help for sure.
Gotta practice that.
Yes.
So if you want to pick up the DLC, you have a couple of options. First off, if you do not own the game or if you want to recommend it to someone, the DLC will be included in the new Gold Edition and Ultimate Edition. And we got questions before, like, what's the new Gold Edition? So it's the one that dropped last month. So yeah, if you bought it then or forward, then it will be included. And if you do own the game, you can buy the DLC standalone for 15 euros or 14.99. And the deluxe edition will include this cool canvas outfit and canvas weapon skin, and that's yours for...
Va a incluir ese skin para el personaje y una skin de arma si
$24.99
compras el DLC.
even.
You have to be precise.
Yeah. And it will also
Separado.
include a level 40 boost.
Yes. Yeah, and that's something that's interesting, especially for people that may be interested in joining now with the Battle for Brooklyn DLCs. That even though the DLC is made for level 40 and it starts at level 40, you can directly boost to level 40. So you can be a new player and directly jump into the DLC. There's going to be some catching up to do. There's tutorials that we are trying to explain you the basics, but clearly there's going to be a lot to learn, but it is possible. It is fully intended to be playable by a new player as well.
And on community side, we got a contest coming up. So we have a treasure hunt that's going to take off in June, where we want you to find cool spots in Brooklyn. So stay tuned on our social for the exact dates and the hints on what to find. We will also, as usual, drop the fan kit with launch. So if you're a content creator and want to use some official assets, you should check that out. So moving on to our new season, which also launches tomorrow, we have Crossroads.
Yes.
Yes. So do you want to cover how the story
Ya esto es
of last season
la nueva temporada.
getting ourselves into?
Sure. This is going to be spoiler territory. I hope you have finished
Esto viene para todos,
season
compres
3
el
by
DLC
now.
o no. Viene la nueva.
And if you haven't, well, you have less than 24 hours to do that. And if you haven't, well, block your ears now or mute because I'm about to spoil it. But as you know, if you've played the season, so Burden of Truth ends with the comeback of Kelso. Kelso comes back to the White House on a mission, and her mission was one to take down the Black Tusk asset, which was Dr. Summers, and wake up Schaefer. So Schaefer wakes up from his coma finally after a few years of seasons for us and just a few months for them. But so this is where Crossroads begins. So it is, the DLC and the season are two different stories, and you can play them in whichever order. In our timeline, they take place more or less at the same time. So you can answer both calls, but they are not directly connected. And as you go into this season, this is very much about Schaefer waking up, and Schaefer knows a lot of things because, as you know, he was part of the BTSU. The Black Tusk elite and the Black Tusk commanding force. So he knows the ins and outs of the Black Tusk operation, and especially Natalia Sokolova and her plan and what she's been working on. So for us, this is really the beginning. We are entering year 7, and this is the beginning of a new chapter where things are going to change. Stories are going to be, some elements are going to start reaching a new stage of progression. If I even dare say, some conclusions are going to be reached. And that's also the idea about Crossroads and why the season is actually called like that. It's a bit more of a high-level name for where we are at today with the game. But you have the Brooklyn DLC, you have the season, you have the connections to Division 1. We're entering really a new chapter for the Division 2. So it's, there's a lot happening now. But in that story as well, and in that season, we're going to be starting to answer a lot of questions.
Yes, so part of Crossroads, we also have the Manhunt Scouts. So released weekly with no fixed order to complete them anymore.
Yes. El objetivo final de la cacería, aparentemente, pero
so I'm very excited about that. But yes, I mean, we've made a change to Scouts, so we no longer want to force you to play them in a specific order. They will still unlock in a specific order, but if you come back later and you haven't played them, you don't have to do 1 and then 2 and then 3. You can play them in the order you want. And that leads us to the next point, which I'm directly going to go into. If
aparentemente ahora no vamos a tener que hacer la cacería en el orden.
Go ahead.
And that's the main reason also why we're doing that, is that we no longer want to force you to play all the scouts to unlock the climax mission, because we understand that for people who can't play every week, and want to come back when the climax is finally available, it can be quite daunting to have to do 10, 11, whatever scouts before you can do the climax. So we wanted to change that. So now what's going to happen is in this season there will be 2 of the scouts that are actually called high value targets. Those high value targets, they are the only ones that are mandatory to unlock the climax mission. So you will only need to do those 2.
A tener ahora 2 objetivos prioritarios que juro que tienes que derrotarlos antes de abrir la misión final, la misión
come back at the end when the climax mission unlocks. You just need to catch up with those 2. If you're doing all the scouts every week, don't worry, you will be rewarded and you will get more for your time, and also in terms of story, you're gonna get more, more story and more rewards. But it is no longer mandatory. It's an optional activity that you can do just the same as everything else.
And you mentioned the climax mission. So if you finish that on master difficulty,
el scout va a ser opcional. Si lo quieres hacer, lo haces y vas a ser recompensado, pero si no lo quieres hacer, no lo hagas.
Yes. Another beautiful face.
Another beautiful face.
La otra máscara que van a dar.
And if you do it on lower difficulty, there's still a drop chance, but the harder difficulty, and then master, you're guaranteed.
La van a dar al final de la.
So what's cool about this mask?
Well, what's cool is that, and that's the kind of the theme throughout a lot of the gear that we've done in this season. It's kind of a callback to Division 1. because this one is based on the alpha bridge mechanic that we had in Division 1, which is allowing you to combine two weapons and to combine the talents of two weapons. So when you have this mask equipped, you're going to be able to, or like the talents of your primary and secondary weapons will be applied to your primary weapon. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of combinations people can come up with, because that's going to allow you to make mechanics and combos that were not available until now.
Diseño las skins
So that's going to be a very
la verdad
interesting
que las skins son muy...
I think based from the PTS, we've seen already a lot of ideas and you know the.
Ya hablamos de lo que va a hacer esta
masters
máscara, que va a permitir combinar el talento de dos armas mientras estas no sean ni exóticas ni con nombre.
So I think it's going
Cual está muy
to be
bien.
fun.
Pues ya así más o menos funcionaba el
Seasonal
Fabric
journey, as
Division
you
1.
talked a bit about with the Manhunt Scouts, we're continuing this, like giving more flexibility to how you play. So this season, after completing mission number 3, the following missions 4, 5, and 6 will unlock at the same time, and you can complete them any order you want to.
Yes, so that's the same. Yeah, it's we want to move a bit away from the very strict structure that we've had until now. We want to open it up and give you a bit more choice. And here the idea is that since already last season with Burden of Truth, we already made a change where we connected the modifiers to the season journey, and we are leaning even more into that now. But the few changes we're making is that we're putting passive modifiers as unlocks on specific objectives in missions, so you can really target those if you want. You don't have to do the whole mission. You can target specific objectives to unlock the passive modifiers. And then the active modifiers are assigned to as rewards to those missions. So 4, 5, 6 are the missions that are going to give you the active modifiers that are based on the 3 attributes. Firearm, stamina, and electronics. So if you really want to unlock the active modifier of one of those attributes first, you can directly do that mission and unlock that one. Once you do all 3 of them, then you unlock.
Y básicamente lo que están diciendo es que ahora en la jornada esta de las misiones vas a poder combinar se van a desbloquear varias jornadas a la vez y no como es hasta ahora que era uno, hasta que no terminaras ese pasabas al siguiente. Ahora se van a desbloquear varios a la vez.
Touched on
Vas a poder
modifiers.
conseguir objetivos de varias
global modifier this season is called
misiones a la vez.
Core.
¿Cuál está bien?
And if you play the Division 1, the attributes just mentioned will sound familiar. So the firearm, stamina, and electronics. And this time around, they return as core attributes.
Yeah. So the way it works is that we've brought back this idea of the 3 attributes from Division 1 again to play around with. So you have red, blue, yellow, firearm, stamina, and electronics. And here the way it works is as you take down NPCs, you're going to be increasing a gauge. You see it on the left here next to the ammo count. You have a red one, a blue one, and a yellow one. And as those go up, you're going to get bonuses. So it's a bit similar to what we've had this season with Rogue Momentum. But the big difference here, there's 2 big differences. First, you don't necessarily have time pressure. Those don't go down over time, so you just keep building up. It becomes a currency that you can consume. And what you consume it for is for the active modifiers. And the active modifiers here are really built around the memory of the links, and so the ultimate abilities you had in Division 1. If you remember, you had 3 of them, and these were real kind of like moments where you could trigger your link, you could trigger your ult, and then suddenly the fight would turn around completely. And we wanted this season to really be about that. So even though this is filling a gauge to get bonuses, the real fun here is about managing the economy to get your links up as much as possible, because when you get them up is when the real fun begins. So that's it sounds a bit familiar to Rogue Momentum we've had in Burden of Truth, but it's actually quite different. And it's very
eso debe ser parte del nuevo modificador que va a venir. Vamos a ver ya eso con calma cómo lo implementan.
And the passive modifiers are now unlocked through specific
explotan.
objectives, not just by finishing a mission. And active modifiers are tied to how many objectives you complete overall. The Broken Link active modifier is also available right from the start, so as soon as you jump into the season, you can play around with that.
Yeah, you will get one active. I think we have 5 active modifiers this season. Am I saying something wrong? Or 4? We have more than usual.
Vamos a tener
There's one you get
4 o
directly
5
from
modificadores
the season
activos en
start, and the other one, as I
esta
said, will be
temporada, que es más de 3, que es lo que venía
unlocked,
usándose
through
siempre
the
hasta ahora.
mission, the season journey.
Do you want to take a look at what the season has to offer with exotics?
Yes.
Yes. Please say yes.
Say yes. Please say yes.
Vuelve la
So
patán
first
de
off, we have
Division
the
1
return of another familiar
con arma
face.
exótica.
So this was this
Una
is in the
pregunta,
form
¿todavía
of the
funciona la build
exotic
de One Shot Kill? Creo que para ciertos,
So
eh,
you might remember that
para
Pecan,
ciertas
Yes.
if you do, made some chat.
misiones del juego la han
Stories in chat.
nerfeado un poco, por
Yeah,
ejemplo,
so,
para
so,
las
so
raids,
the pack-in is coming back. There's a few
como
items we've been playing around.
one shot
and
kill,
bringing
pero
back from the
en
first
líneas
game.
generales sigue funcionando. La pistola exótica y la Regulus creo que se sigue
And
usando.
the idea of the pack-in was a fun one because it's.
Pero creo que a
it was a
ciertos
fun
jefes
one
del
to
juego
play
ya no los
in
puedes
the-
matar con
in the
one shot
first game,
kill.
and,
Eso porque han
and
nerfeado
this
no
one
la
we've been
build,
able to actually
sino el
bring
daño
it
que le
back
hace
in
a
a
ciertos
very
jefes.
similar fashion. So mechanically, it is very close to what it used to be in the Division 1. Visually
saludo,
as
Wills.
well, we really wanted this one to really feel like an echo from the past or a memory, and really be the item you could get in the first game. So that one is gonna be it's gonna be interesting and a lot of fun. And the way it works is you build stacks as you take down enemies, and then on your next reload you're gonna have a bigger mag. So it's gonna be
Nice.
allowing you to shoot longer.
We
No
also
me parece
have
que en
a
esta
new
temporada los enemigos nos van a
monster.
curar como en el
So the
te digo
nimble.
que era un
Yes.
coñazo, era que se
And
curaban.
nimble is so this one is
Una pistolera
it's
exótica.
not directly an exotic we took from Division 1, but it's based on the mechanic of the first game as well, where you could heal by doing cover to cover movement. So we took that idea and we revisited it. We worked a bit with it and came up with a whole concept for a new exotic item. So this one is also
Y vas a recibir reparaciones y armadura, o sea, vas a recibir armadura, hago movimiento de cobertura a cobertura. La gente no entiende que el movimiento de cobertura a cobertura, por ejemplo,
it's also very fun.
siguen sacando
visually,
talento,
because
siguen
once again,
sacando
the
ahora
art team
exóticos
had,
basados en
some
movimientos
fun with
de
that. I
cobertura a
don't know if you
cobertura y
will
la
see that in
gente,
those
bueno,
videos or not. It's
habrá
actually-
quien lo
there's a
use, no lo
screen on the
niego,
other
no lo
side
niego,
and it
pero
changes depending on if you're
Okay.
cover or
no está
out of
pendiente de
cover
eso.
or
Está
running.
haciendo
So
movimientos
it's,
de cobertura a cobertura, pero bueno,
it's
la gente
pretty
insiste con eso. Y
see it here.
Ah.
See, now it's green because you're in cover, then it turns blue. So
se ve cómo cambia, va a estar en rojo y cómo cambia a verde cuando,
Nice.
pues bueno.
We also have some new exotic weapon skins. So we're gonna take a look
En
at
PvE,
the
bueno, me refiero a que en
Nocturne.
PvE es que se usa, obviamente,
very pretty.
es donde más se usa, pero
so that's a
igual.
skin for the Pacan.
Ahí está el aspecto de la Pacan, bueno,
as you can
no
see,
se ve
it's
mal,
very
se
orange.
ve bien, por lo menos.
It's very pretty.
Está bonita.
It's nocturne because it's
It's very black and gold. to me.
yeah, and it emits light in the dark. And as you can see, when you turn rogue, it actually goes red.
Gorgeous. Moving on to some season gear. So first off, we have a new brand set. So this you can obtain via
Un
season
nuevo
pass.
set, vamos a ver de
And
marca,
it's called, I have trouble pronouncing
de los
this,
amarillos.
Imminence Armaments. Armaments. Yeah, maybe? Close
Yep.
enough. So this is inspired by some things in Division 1 as well.
Yeah, so it's based on the threat mechanic in Division 1. In Division 1, we had increased threat and reduced threat as a mechanic. So we wanted to play around with that and see how interesting it would be to add that to the pool of stats you can have in the game. So yeah, it's gonna be, you get a reduced threat as part of the bonuses. If I'm not saying anything stupid, I hope I'm not mixing them up now. But as part of the brand bonuses, you get reduced threat, but then the named version of it has an increased threat stat. So So it's going to be up to you to see how you want to use it. Either you just
Pero
use
lo vamos a mostrar por lo menos,
the
a ver
name
qué
to
tal.
increase your threat, or you use the brands to reduce your threat. And hopefully that's going to be interesting again in team dynamics and aggro management.
Next up, we have gear sets.
No lo mostraron.
There you go,
El
the measured
set verde sí lo van a
assembly.
mostrar. El
So this is actually also inspired by the Division 1 and a set that's called Final Measure.
Yeah.
And it got a one-strap backpack.
como el Final
So
Measure
you
de
requested
Division 1.
so much.
aparentemente.
Look at
we
that.
don't see in the other piece.
Yeah, I know, but now we do.
Now we do.
Now we
Yay.
do.
Una mierda de ser en Division 1 y bueno, lo
Yeah,
traen
that's
para acá
not the only
porque-
reason why it's inspired from Division 1. Final Measure in Division 1 was a very popular set that allowed you to swallow grenades from NPCs. And this one is it's heavily revisited, so it's not swallowing grenades, but it's actually taking down skill proxies and skill elements from enemies as they enter the area of effect of your gear set. So that's kind of a negation zone around you to protect you and your friends. So once again, interesting to see how that's
no sé
how it's
bien
gonna
qué
go.
va a
And
hacer.
as you
Creo que
said,
lo
these
muestren para más o menos
one-strap
saber qué va.
backpacks, they are back.
Creo que va en el
They're
PTS,
coming to
no me
Division
acuerdo.
2. Not everywhere, so you can use them, but it's going to be depending on what you wear.
Sí, el
and,
Final Measure era un
only
set para PvP, sobre todo para cuando
stabs and
querías
chest
contrarrestar
pieces are
granadas
actually
y tal.
compatible
pero
with it,
en
but
el
don't
1,
worry if
aquí no sé en
one
qué,
strap doesn't work, there's always going to be two
Vamos a
straps.
ver cómo lo
going to
implementan
your
acá.
backpack. But yeah, this is I think the first piece of gear we're going to make with this, but you can expect to see more one-strap backpacks coming to the game moving forward.
Yeah. We also have a return of the Fei Lao bundle that also has a one-strap backpack. If
Yes.
you want to double up. Does that make it 2 straps? If you have 2 one
You have two one-strap backpacks. Math.
No. So, how do you get the gear sets? It's through seasonal caches.
You play the game, you can get them.
You just play the
through-
game and you get it.
play the game.
Cool.
It's the same with the brand set. I mean, you'd get them on the seasonal caches on the season pass, but you can also just drop them in the game directly.
Talking about the season pass.
Ellos supone que están mostrando un
There is
gameplay de
some
cómo
cool
funciona el
stuff.
set y resulta que no se ve
Yeah,
nada.
from the rewards tracks. So players with the seasonal pass can gain access to the following premium tracker rewards. So 10 gear dice, 10 universal weapon skins, 2 outfits, 2 new prestige arm patches. And players can also earn 400 premium credits by progressing through the season pass on premium track. The free track will include 3 arm patches, 1 outfit, 1 exotic weapon, 1 exotic gear, 2 named weapons, 2 named gear, 1 high-end brand piece, and 1 universal weapon skin. That's a lot.
Unas ropas
Damn.
nuevas, ¿no?
Did you
Three.
did you rehearse that?
No, I wrote it down. I should have.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean there's a lot. It's your usual pack of rewards, but it's packed with a lot, and there's a lot of new fun.
Más dinero por las skins, es que eso no va a cambiar.
So,
Eso ya le encontraron
Yeah.
que eso va a ser una maquinita de hacer
Cool.
plata y eso no va a cambiar.
so we have some
Ahora,
premium
por lo menos aquí
skins,
te han
we
metido
have,
tres
there's some gear
ropas
dice,
dentro del pase de temporada
bunch of stuff.
premium.
I just listed.
Antes venían metiéndote uno o dos.
I'm,
Lo
just
van a
trying
meter
to
tres.
I'm trying to occupy the space because there's a video.
Okay,
Look,
let's move
outfits,
on.
yeah, pew
Y pase de temporada
pew,
premium te cuesta lo que te
weapons,
cuesta
streets.
o sea, te cuesta menos de lo que
Do
te
the
cuesta
sound
una
effects
ropita de la
again.
que ellos venden aparte. O sea,
Just hire you to sit.
bueno, por lo menos ahí ganamos un
Okay,
poquito.
quality of life updates. So, progression and objectives. So, the seasonal journey objectives can now be progressed while playing with the team. So, previously it was only the host that got the progression, and now everybody in the team can.
Saludos, Hugo, ¿qué tal,
progress
hermano?
in the same-
Yes.
At the same time.
Sí, a las ropas
season-
horribles.
Finally.
Por lo que se vio ahí,
Gosh, Tim,
You
que había
finally-
uno
what
ahí
took you so
nomás.
long to do that?
Oh, horrible.
No, it's a big change. It sounds trivial, but it was some work. But it's great. It's great that we finally managed to do that.
Y los trajes de pinga te los ponen
Playing
aparte para
seasons and
vender
completing journeys a bit
a
more
precio de
often in
locura.
group, especially since we really want to promote team play a bit more this season. So yeah, that goes in that direction too.
Seasonal XP rewards for all Living World activities. Main missions and the game modes have been increased by 85%. That's generous.
Yeah, it's also very precise. Don't know why. 85. But anyway, yes.
A las misiones te va a dar más experiencia ahora para
we
la-
just wanted to,
para los
to
objetivos
make the
prioritarios, me parece.
completion of the season pass a bit faster. We've seen some great improvements already once we've implemented more rewards or more sources for rewards with this season, but it's still not fast enough. So we've increased it. So now you're going to get more season XP by just doing whatever you want to do.
We also have some changes to the scavenging points. Can you talk us through this?
Bueno,
Yeah, let's talk about scavenging points. Everybody's favorite topic.
Ya sabemos lo que van a hacer. Ya
So yeah,
han
the
dicho.
big change we are making this season, and once again, if you follow all the discussions, obviously, hopefully this is clear to you by now. But in any case, the big change we are making this season is that you're no longer going to be able to get scavenging points, an infinite amount of scavenging points by just creating new characters. So if you remember, the way it works is as you level up your Shade Watch and your Shade level, you get points in scavenging that you can spend, but if you create a new character, that new character starts with the same Shade level, so you have all those scavenging points again and you can spend them. What we are changing this season is that once a scavenging point is consumed, it is consumed. So even if you create a new character, you will not have that point again. The point was already consumed, so you will only get the points you get with that character, basically, or other characters, but the points that are obtained after the creation of that character. So it's
Lo que han dicho, que ya no vas a poder crearte personajes nuevos para obtener todos los puntos de reloj que te daban.
Think of the scavenging points as account wide now and not character wide. We are doing this because we're introducing a level 40 boost, and with a level 40 boost, that would mean that you could just basically create a level 40 character, consume points, delete, create a new character, consume points. And while we were okay to tolerate that in the past because you still had to level up your character to do that and everything, now it's reaching the point where this could be considered an exploit if we kept it that way. So we had to address it. Now, on the flip side of this, what we're doing to try to make that a bit more fun for everyone is that we are increasing the value or the rewards you're going to get for your scavenging points. So we've multiplied everything by 3, which means that you're going to get 3 times more out of 1 point compared to what you used to have. So even though you can only consume it once, you're still going to get much more out of it.
And since this is a big shift, you will also receive a one-time
Lo que han dicho entonces que te van a cambiar ahora
100%
cada
of your
punto
previous
de reloj te va a dar
scavenger
más
points.
de lo que te daba hasta ahora.
So this,
Lo han hecho como para
these
compensar
points
un
will
poco el cambio que han
override
metido.
all the points you have. So you need to use them before the update tomorrow.
Yeah.
So spend
Hay
them.
que usar los
Yeah,
puntos
if
que
you
tienes
have points
actualmente
left, go
en tus
use them
personajes,
now,
usarlos hasta
because
hoy,
tomorrow
porque ya
after
mañana
the update,
te los van a poner a cero y te
you will
van
get
a...
all your points one more time, and that's it. Then we are done.
That's it.
Then you just get
Te van
new
a regalar
points
los
moving
puntos que
forward.
tienes a día de hoy una sola vez y ya
Moving
no
on
vas a
to
poder...
onboarding.
los gastos
So we
y una vez que
had,
los gastos ya no te los van a dar
well,
más.
we added this last season, I believe. We're working on making it easier for new agents to, hit the ground running, understand, milestone builds is what I'm talking about. So this is designed to help new players understand the basics of the build making. So 1 milestone cash is granted for each of the following levels, so 8, 50, 25, and 35. And this is to encourage players to, play around and try different builds. And equipping the gear triggers quick explanations to highlight how pieces work together. So this is, part of a bigger plan here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's it's very easy when you work on a live game like ours to just focus on what exists and what do we do to keep adding to the game. But I think it's very important to also think of the experience from a new player's perspective. And as our game gets older, it gets bigger, it gets better, but that means that it might get harder also for people to get into and understand everything. So we want to take a bit of time, especially now that hopefully we're going to get new players coming to the game. And more new players coming to the game. We want to make sure that the experience is as welcoming as possible for them and as positive as possible. So 1/2 of that is you be good, be nice to new people. That's not something we can code, so it's on you. But the other part that's on us is to make sure that the game is actually easier to understand. So there's going to be more changes coming, and this is us basically giving you a heads up that throughout the season we're going to make more onboarding changes. Most of them you will not even see, because if you're already level 40, that doesn't necessarily affect you. Some of them you might, and we'll talk about them when we do. Last season we've already implemented the milestone builds, as you said, which is the goal here with those were to try to start slowly introducing the gear game to players as they progress. So we introduce item combinations, we introduce the concept of a brand set, and we explain, we give an example, we give you a couple pieces of brand set and a weapon, and say, hey, those things work pretty well together, you should try to equip them. And then we do the same with gear sets, and then we introduce exotics. So, as you progress, we try to explain all of those things. And yeah, as I said, throughout the season 7, throughout season 1, Crossroads of this year, we're going to keep doing more improvements, some small things and some bigger things as well.
Yes. Moving on to events, because there might be some reasons why more new players are coming into the game. But we're going to start with Twitch drops. So starting tomorrow, May 27th, Twitch drops will be on. So watch your favorite content creator play the Division 2 or find a new one. Any partnered that has the drops active will grant you the rewards that you see on screen. And we know that the previous Twitch drops had some issues, and we decided to mass grant them because we could not identify exactly who was eligible for receiving them. So you're welcome to those who didn't even watch. Hopefully we won't have to do the same again. We have been looking, thoroughly at the system, and hopefully everything will run smoothly this time. And if it doesn't, please reach out. We want to hear if you have any issues so we can help solve them. Next up, summer events. So we have some new skill VFX coming in.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. So more customization. After the exotic skins, now we are going to start introducing new VFX for skills. So we've had a lot of fun, maybe too much fun with some of those. But new elements that you're going to get to unlock by playing the summer event. You will be able to change the way your skills look, which is something that has existed in the game since the launch of the game. But we've actually never finally we are able to.
That's really cool. Okay, so Shepherd XP event coming up. We've seen some questions in the community on exactly how this system, the Shepherd system, works. Can you explain for those who are
well, at least what I can say for this event, what's going to happen is that there's actually two things that are what we really wanted is, as I said earlier, I joke, but honestly, a big part of people joining the game and liking the game is the community.
De hecho, entre los logros nuevos que metieron, me parece, por lo que vi, que va a haber un logro a revivir a alguien que acuda, que
more often than not, they praise the community and the bond of friendship that all the players have
together. Buscar la manera de pedir ayuda y que se levanten
and we really want to emphasize that. And we have a feature in the game called the Shepherd system that is, rewarding you for helping new players or helping other players. And we really wanted to push that now, especially with, again, the big influx of players we're going to get. So what we're going to do is two things. One, and that one is actually a permanent change that's going to stay in the game at least until we decide otherwise. It's that we're going to increase how many endorsements, auto endorsements you get when you use the Shepherd system. So the Shepherd system, if you remember, is basically when you help other players by using the call for backup, you get endorsements. You get automatic endorsements if you played long enough with those players. And then those players, if they had a positive experience, they can also endorse you. Those endorsements are a currency, and then as you get special milestones, you rank up in your Shepherd ranks, and you unlock rewards. So what we're going to do is, and that's the permanent change, is that the auto endorsement is multiplied by 3 now. So you will get 3 endorsements instead of 1 automatically when you use the Shepherd system. So this is meant to help you rank up faster. And then the event itself is also going to make the rank season.
Dijeron que van a hacer un
So I don't have the
cambio
numbers in mind, which is
que
what
va a ser
I'm
fijo, que es
critique,
este.
but
Van
basically
a-
the whole point is that
ahora
you're
vamos a
going
dar
to rank
tres-
up faster in Shepherd, and we are going to give you
Tres
rewards,
valoraciones
and also
positivas de
going to have,
pastoreo cada vez que ayudes, cada vez que alguien te
projects that
ayude,
are going
en vez de
to,
una que es como está
reward you
actualmente.
for ranking up in the Shepherd system. So it's really about use this call for backup, help out new players, those that are joining us that are struggling to learn the game, help them out, and you're going to be rewarded faster and better than you usually are.
And you might have a lot of agents calling for a backup this weekend because we have a free weekend coming up, starting on.
O sea, que el solo
Here we
no,
go,
el juego
May
no solo viene a Game
29
Pass, sino que
to
el
June.
Game
You're
Pass
waiting for
gratis.
the
You're not going to wait for it. You're
Yeah.
not sure.
to June 2nd.
There's a lot of dates and a lot of things happening, so it's
Yes,
hard to keep track.
it is. And
Fin
it
de
will be
semana va a estar
available on
gratis para todo el mundo el
PlayStation,
juego.
Xbox, Ubisoft Connect, Epic, GeForce Now. And any progress that you, what you progress, it will transfer to the game if you buy it after. So recommend the
Y el
game
progreso
and
se va a guardar
really
si
try it
cambia,
out.
si compras el juego, vas a tener el progreso que
will
hayas hecho en
also be
en
on
estos días gratis.
Xbox Game Pass.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know. I didn't want to
People
scream
know about that
losing my
already.
voice. You can be hype.
I mean, it's fantastic. It's amazing. And obviously, yes, this is. I mean, this is the reason why. Not just that reason, but it's one of the big motivation why we are pushing. Community play and onboarding and all those things. There's a culmination of a bunch of stuff. We have a DLC coming. We have Game Pass. We have free weekend. We have overall some excitement. I hope for you, at least we are excited about where the game is at and where it's going. So we really want to make sure that we have all the elements to try to welcome as many new players as we can and give them a good experience.
And the handsome man we're watching here is the Xbox Game Pass perk. So for a limited time from May 29th, if you are a Game Pass subscriber, you can claim this EMS. Yes, EMS outfit.
Good idea. No,
Esto es un aliciente a los que lo jueguen en Game Pass. Le van a dar este outfit.
Moving on, we
Ese-
have
ese
some
skin de
community
personaje se lo van a dar a
contests. So the
quienes lo
first
jueguen
one
en Game
ties into this new player helping out a friendly agent. So we will ask you to give your best tips in our Discord. We're gonna create a new channel, and we want you to, give all the tips and tricks. And some of you will be rewarded for your generous knowledge sharing with some very cool prizes. So check
Sí,
out
a la
our
verdad, yo creo que va a
socials
llegar
to
mucha
see
gente
the
al juego
exact
ahora que llegue
dates
Game
of
Pass.
when
Lo pongan
this
gratis el
will
fin de
start.
semana. Debería llegar un gentío gratis, un gentío al juego.
Someone can share the tips on what's the best way to get the Scorpio. Thank you very much.
The Scorpio. That's what
I mean, I
new
have some
players
idea on what
should
to
go
do.
after.
No, that's what I want.
That's what you want.
But I still don't have it to this day. I have some ideas on how to get it, but somehow it's just not working for me. So
Yeah. This was all the topics.
I'm glad that we finished with the Scorpio. That's clearly the most important topic of all.
So yeah.
Did we cover it in 1 hour?
I think we did pretty well, actually.
Yes, I'm rudely checking my watch during a stream. So. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much for hanging with us.
Bueno,
And
esto ha terminado,
I
señores.
I hope you
Básicamente,
guys were
pues, lo que han
excited
dicho
to play what we're
es
excited
lo que
to
han dicho,
share
no he dicho mucho más.
what's coming tomorrow. It's both the Battle for Brooklyn DLC and the new season Crossroads. So I really hope
it's
that
unreal.
you...
It's
It's unreal.
It's just I mean, it's we've been working for so long on this moment, the DLC and the culmination of everything, and it's just to know that it's happening tomorrow is just it's really exciting and terrifying in the same time.
And when we say bye, there's actually one more thing happening it's kind of a wrap up. So, if you didn't listen to Yannick or I, you can listen to Yannick again, talk a bit more polished about what we just talked about.
The better version of me. So
And some other friendly faces, not just Yannick.
we have a wrap up of our wrap up stream.
I love it. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the Dev Diary.
Thank you.
Crossroads brings us closer to uncovering the truth behind Sokolov's plans, as agents find themselves in a race against time and the Black Tusk. The modifiers in Crossroads gives the Division franchise fans the opportunity to peel back the years, with modifiers incorporating elements similar to the Division's gear system.
Year 7 Season 1 Crossroads introduces the new global modifier, Hardcore. Reminiscent of the Division, this season players will get their hands on 3 new attributes, firearms, stamina, and electronics, allowing to gain score-based bonuses. The higher the score of the attribute, the greater tier of bonuses you can access, including special bonuses obtainable at the highest 5th tier. 2 cores equals 1 tier. So for example, 6 cores will bump you up 3 tiers. From tier 1 to tier 4, each build's core composition will affect the baseline of where the scores start.
Players can also affect the bonuses via gameplay by eliminating enemies
Van a jugar un
with
poco
corresponding attribute marks.
con
For firearms, you gain a critical hit chance bonus.
la cantidad de rojos, amarillos o azules que tengamos. Parece que te van a dar, según vayas progresando, vayas aumentando una barrita, te van a ir dando por cada 2 que aumentes, te dan uno o sea, por cada 2 niveles de la barra roja, te dan un nivel de daño de arma. Y lo mismo para electrónica y para armadura, o estamina, como llaman ellos. Bueno, como se llamaba en el 1, no se llamaba estamina.
Year 7 Season 1 introduces 5 new active modifiers, with one of them, Broken Link, not requiring to be unlocked and granted together.
Va a haber 5 modificadores activos, como dijeron hoy, y en vez de 3 van a haber 5.
Modifiers truly shine in team play. Activating one near other players increases its duration for each nearby ally, and they all get the score boost too. In short, you'll keep your modifier active longer, while your teammates benefit from an extra tier.
This season's passive modifiers are reminiscent of the talents from the Division. Passive modifiers are directly tied to your current attribute tiers.
For a passive modifier to be activated, you will need to have one or more
Los
attributes
modificadores
reaching a
pasivos
minimum
los han
tier. For
dividido entre
example, as
simples
long
e
as you meet the
híbridos.
required tier for a specific
Ya veremos
attribute,
qué ofrece
the
cada uno mientras
corresponding
lo vayamos
bonus is
desbloqueando.
active. If you drop below that tier, the bonus will become inactive.
Hostiles are also gaining bonuses this season, shown by the colored marks above them. Firearms mark. Enemies gain movement speed and deal more damage. Stamina mark. Enemies become more resistant from damage.
Y los enemigos van a ganar daño, armadura o potencia de electrónica a medida, según los marcadores que tengan encima. Eran estos simbolitos rojo, amarillo y azul que tenían. Eso que se ven ahí, ¿ves? Tienen los 3, tienen las 3 cosas potenciadas.
All in all, Crossroads is a perfect opportunity to diversify your builds, regardless of the numbers of cores they have.
As with every season, Crossroads introduces new gear to collect. The Imminence Armaments brand set, the Measured Assembly gear set, 2 named weapons, Blood and Purist, and 3 new exotics, the Pacan Exotic RPK-74, Nimble Exotic Holster, and Tinkerer Exotic Mask available through the Climax mission.
Designed to maximize skill use, the new gear encourages creative loadouts tailored to individual playstyles. Longtime fans will also spot some nods to the Division in some of the new items.
We continue working on Seasons 2.0 improvements based on your feedback, and this season is no exception. You can now make progress on seasonal journey objectives while playing in co-op, so grab your friends and dive into the new season together.
Last season, we introduced a change that allowed seasonal XP to be earned through all open world activities. This season, we're boosting that Season Pass XP by 85%.
Among other exciting quality of life updates, one-strap backpacks have officially arrived in the Division 2. While currently limited to shirts and uniforms that hide vests and have front space to accommodate them, more options are on the way soon. And by the way, the new Measured Assembly gear set includes a stylish one-strap backpack, which is available through the free Season Pass track. Don't miss your chance to grab it.
Crossroads brings more exotic skins, starting with Nocturne, an exotic skin specially created to match the new exotic weapon of the season, Pacan.
Ah, esta va a ser una skin de la Pacan, ok. Ahora como las exóticas las tenemos como skins, ya le metieron una del Scorpio. Esta va a ser de la Pacan, que está bastante chulo. Vamos a ver cómo lo dan.
Spending points on one character removes them from the shared pool for all the others, so you cannot use the same points on more than one character.
To compensate for this change, you will receive the maximum number of gainable points from a single character upon your first login in Crossroads. The number of points awarded will be based on your SHD level.
Y la skin de la Pacan está muy bonita. El arma es una mierda, pero
Players with the Season Pass can gain access to the following premium track rewards: 10 gear dice, 10 weapon skins, 2 outfits, 2 new prestige arm patches, and more than that, players can earn 400 premium credits by progressing through the Season Pass
$30 más o menos
track.
entre la
The free track will
expansión,
include one outfit
el pase de
and one
temporada
weapon skin,
premium.
allowing every agent
Yo no
to
sé
gear
si
up
me
stand
parece
out
que
with
la
DC.
La expansión va a tener un modo premium también.
Celebrate
Esto
the
lo tengo que
Battle
ver
for
mañana
Proxy
cuando lo
DLC
lancen
and
esta noche.
Crossroads
¿no?
release by watching any partner Division 2 Twitch stream during the promo period to earn exclusive Black Tusk
Y bueno, hay que estar pendiente entre el 27 de junio, de mayo y el 10 de junio de
Week 1
buscar
rewards
creadores
are
que
live
estén
now through
streameando
June 2nd,
lo
and Week
nuevo
2
para
runs from June
desbloquear
3rd until June 10th.
las de
Don't
armas
miss out.
están muy chulas.
The Division 2 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on May 27th. Jump in now and claim an exclusive 5-piece EMS outfit available as a Game Pass perk.
New to the game? There's never been a better time to start. We've
Si están en Game
streamlined
Pass, pueden
onboarding
reclamar
and
esta
accelerated early
skin.
game progression
Y
from
después, bueno,
levels
me imagino
1
que te
to
aparecerá
12,
en tu
and
alijo.
introduced milestones caches to help new players explore item variety and dive into build theory crafting right from the
Me imagino que
start.
eso será desde la
Long-time
consola,
players can
no
also
desde el
count
juego,
on
o
some
sea, el
fresh
desbloquear la skin.
excitement. For the first 2 weeks following the Xbox Game Pass launch, level 40 players can triple their auto endorsements by answering calls for backup to help newcomers.
And of course, what's summer without a summer event? Crossroads is heating up with a bunch of exciting in-game rewards. Grab your favorite chill drink and get ready. The summer fun is just around the corner.
Complete the project to earn a new outfit and a tricolored skill VFX usable with both the turret and the hive.
Join the official Division Discord channel and share your gameplay tips starting May 29th for a chance to win some cool prizes.
With so many exciting updates on the way, we hope all our agents are gearing up for an awesome summer. As always, stay tuned for more surprises throughout the season.
Bueno, es bastante lo que van a meter, parece, ¿eh? Bueno, y aquí ha terminado el evento. Vamos a bajarle volumen aquí. No creo que haya algo más. Yo creo que eso ha sido todo. Si tienes pensado quedarte un ratito hablándome, Nat, no sé, creo que me iré ya porque no hay mucho que hablar. Si quieres, nos vemos ahora en la tarde en tu podcast. No hay problema. Estaré unos 5 minuticos más y ya. Voy a jugar. Estoy fiebre ahorita con The Division. Creo que voy a jugar con un colega ahorita. Así que no va a estar mucho tiempo acá. Decir eso, que en la tarde nos vemos donde Nat en su podcast para hablar de lo de siempre. Y bueno, con esto ya lo he dicho, mañana estaremos haciendo directo de la nueva expansión a primera hora de la mañana, o sea, más o menos a esta hora, quizás, no, más temprano, yo pretendo empezar a las 8 de la mañana mías, a hacer stream, dependiendo también de que esta gente tenga ya todo a punto a esa hora, porque conociéndolos, a veces los mantenimientos se prolongan y tal, y pues de eso va a depender que yo empiece el stream a las 8, a mis 8 de la mañana, que es la hora que pretendo iniciar para hacer toda la campaña del nuevo DLC en directo, hacer la mañana de una vez de corrido, todo, me va a pegar quizás unas 6 horas a hacerlo, así que me verán unas 6 horas jugando, manqueando, no mentira, yo en The Division no manqueo tanto, pero me verán quizás cruzarme toda la expansión mañana mismo, porque pretendo hacerlo así, cruzarme toda la expansión mañana y con todas las misiones secundarias o misiones de mundo, como las han llamado. Y pues ahí exploraremos mucho más todo lo que han hablado hoy, porque, a ver, muchas cosas han quedado en el tintero y ya mañana pues tendremos la oportunidad de explorar también. Claro, va a depender de que mañana se pueda comprar, porque fíjate, hicieron un stream y ni siquiera dijeron cuándo iba a estar disponible, no se sabe. Ahorita entrará al juego y veré si ya se puede preordenar por allí o si hay que preordenarlo de la tienda. Así que, bueno, gente, vamos a ir cortando este stream, vamos a dejarlo por aquí y nos vemos esta tarde donde Natalia, en la noche donde Siu y mañana a primera hora estaremos haciendo stream de The Division 2. Faltaron los puntos de control del mapa nuevo, esa es otra cosa de la que no hablaron hoy, supuestamente va a haber 4 puntos de control y no dijeron nada, pero bueno, eso tampoco es gran cosa. Y han hablado también de que va a haber muchas otras actividades de las que hay normalmente en el juego, que rescates de rehenes, bounties, todo este tipo de cosas va a seguir habiendo en el mapa nuevo, así que ya todo eso lo descubriremos mañana. Así que, gente, muchísimas gracias a todos los que estuvieron en este stream. Nos vemos, ya saben, esta tarde donde Natalia y mañana aquí para jugar la nueva expansión. Hasta luego.